Peace, peace. This is Brother Faheem, and you are now tuned in to the Lead with Logic podcast. You know the vibes. Peace, peace. What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Lead with Logic. I am your gracious and humble host, Brother Faheem. And man, what I always say, life moves at an electromagnetic pace. So I just try to keep my boots laced so I can win the race. Man, first day of July. Wow, we're moving on through there. Time just keeps on ticking. It runs faster and faster every day. And it's crazy. I'm just trying to keep up, man. I'm just trying to keep up. So much trouble in the world, so many things going on. Trying to pick up that knowledge and wisdom and understanding from it so that I can keep moving forward in a graceful and a very informed and intelligent way. Listen, wherever you are, wherever you at, under the sound of my voice, if you on Facebook, please share this out. If you're on X, share it out, like and repost. And if you're on YouTube, make sure that you're in the comments and that you share this live out with somebody that you know loves knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Another day, 1 July, like I was saying. And what's been going on? I've been hearing a lot. Obviously, the presidential campaigns have been real big. You know, people are it's funny to see all of the commentary that people are putting up, right? It's funny to see everybody with their opinions and perspectives. And I respect it all. I love it all. It's that time of the year, right? It's the most wonderful time of the year. You get to hear a lot of debates. You get to see a lot of people come out, and you get to see people reveal themselves, what they believe politically. Now, I'm not one to judge anybody for what their political affiliation or party is. I just always ask that you can explain whatever it is that you follow, whatever party, whatever candidate. You should be able to give anybody at a moment's notice something tangible so that people can say, oh, not only do I understand why they follow the person, I also might want to follow myself. So, yeah, you have all that stuff going on, but I'm more concerned with my people, right? And what we have going on and what we have to say about certain things. So what's been very, very interesting to me is, as of late, is the NBA draft happened a few weeks ago, and none other than Bronny James, LeBron James's eldest child, his oldest son, was drafted in the second round with the 55th pick to his father's squad, right? The LA Lakers. Now, it was so much that went into that. If you know anything or you've been keeping up with basketball for the last few years, then you know that Bronny James has been on the radar. He was a high school phenom. He was a McDonald's All-American, and he is the greatest, arguably the greatest player of all time, son, Mr. LeBron James' son. So you're pretty aware of who Bronny James is in the sports world. So when he left high school, right, he went to USC. Now, I had forgotten this. Bronny had some heart issues, right? I remember reading where he was in practice, and I think he fell out. Come to find out, he had maybe a heart murmur or something. We're gonna get to it. I'm gonna read a little bit, but that made his minutes and his being able to put hard and strenuous labor on his body, that put it at a minimum. I think people are forgetting that. That's one thing that people aren't really recognizing, or they don't want to recognize for whatever reason. But the big thing is people are saying a few things that I think are kind of unfair and also a little bit uninformed, right? They're saying that he only got there. Well, LeBron runs the Lakers, right? There's this commentary out there that LeBron James runs the Lakers. I can understand that because it's a superstars league, right? And typically in the NBA and any league that's carried by the cash cow or the huge draw and LeBron is absolutely a cash cow and a huge draw. He's a generational talent. Then he's gonna get a little leeway. Isn't it like that in every aspect of life, in every industry, y'all? Don't the people who pull the most weight, don't they get the most privileges? I mean, even out in regular society, you want VIP, don't you? You don't want to go to the back of the line. You want to fly first class, don't you? And with first class comes privileges. You're not in coach with everybody else. So I think sometimes we forget that with a certain class or with a certain status comes certain privileges, and absolutely LeBron James qualifies. Well deserved too. But the thing also that they were saying is, hey, nepotism, right? There's this this sentiment that there's a huge nepotism that's going on, that people are that LeBron has empowered his son, and his son has only gotten that opportunity because of who his father is. That's how it's been invalidated, right? That's how they've taken away from his merit. And so I really want to get into that. Yeah, I want to say a couple words about that because that's very interesting for us to for people to think of to think of it that way, because it lets me know that people might not understand how this country works and what happens, right? People I know there's this huge belief that we are a meritocracy, right? A society based on merit alone. That's just untrue. That's just untrue. There are monopolies that exist. There are wealthy individuals beyond measure that exist. And they leave their children in charge. They leave their children wealth beyond measure. They empower not only their children, they empower the people that they love around them. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? Right? I often tell people racism simply means you're running a race. That's part of it, right? You're running a race, and to run a race, to win a race, you need a great team. So it's a team sport. Racism is a team sport. But take racism out of it. Take how we perceive the imbalance out of ethnic ethnic groups, movement forward. Whatever you are, whatever your nationality, whatever your ethnic group, I would only hope that you look to your own. I would only hope that you look to give your own those opportunities first, really first, second, and third, right? And then you look outside. That's the world we live in today. That's how it operates, if we're being honest. But I'm just gonna go over a few things. Like I said, I see it's 12 of y'all in here. Hey, thank you, thank you. The comments are open. If you guys want to make some comments, they're open. I would love to. I would address you guys' comments. I'll take them. If y'all have a question related to this topic, we can get into it. But yeah, so I wanted to kind of talk about that. I want to get into that a little bit. So I am going to pull up some information. I'm gonna pull up some information that is relevant to the topic. So first, I think, just to give us some context, I've been reading out of this book. I love this book. If you guys can grab it, you should. It's Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson. The National Plan to Empower Black America. This is a good book. Not only does it give a description of the problem, but it gives a diagnosis as well and a resolve. I'm sorry, not diagnosis, but a cure, a prescription, excuse me. So it doesn't only describe it, but it tells you how to cure it. If people would only read and people would only apply, right? Knowledge is great, but application is the greatest. So great book, great book. You can get it off Amazon. You can get it off, you can get it Barnes and Nobles. I suggest getting it straight from the horse's mouth or straight from the maker, the owner, and the sole controller, Mr. or Dr. Claude Anderson himself. But another guy who follows Dr. Claude Anderson real well or real close is this fella here, Dr. Boyce Watkins. I've been reading this a whole lot lately. The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power, Dr. Boyce Watkins. I was gifted this book by Dr. Watkins when I went to Charlotte for the All Black National Convention. I was a vendor out there. Lead with logic, right? Lead with logic, my little gear. But nonetheless, he gave it to us in the care package. And it's very, very well written, not real complex. A kindergartner, first grader, second grader could read and comprehend it. So absolutely the adults should be able to get through it pretty quick and double back, like they say, double the block. We double the book. So yeah, but he lays it out right. Ten commandments of black economic power, and what he does is he gives a commandment and then he colors it in. He gives you the subtopics or the subpoints. So I just want to point something out in light of what we're getting ready to talk about today. And let me reintroduce myself. I am Brother Faheem. I'm the maker, the owner, and the sole controller of the Lead with Logic podcast. Yes, yes, yes. You guys catch me here on Mondays at 8. This is YouTube, but I'm also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Plus, Instagram. And yeah. And I'll be in X spaces, building, trying to gain content. I'm in fan base. I'm trying to listen and get a feel for what the people are interested in, what they're doing, where they're going. And I use that to come on here and check my website out, leadwithlogic7.com, leadwithlogic7.com. That way you can look at all the gear that I have, the men's, the women's, the children, the family, right? And big things coming, big things coming. I got a couple of interviews that I'm super, super excited about. I'm really excited about all the interviews because everybody I interview is doing such huge and profound things, right? So when they allow me to introduce them to my audience and offer more exposure, I'm always so elated and excited. And so, yeah, y'all stay tuned because I have some real big news and some real big interviews coming out. So, commandment number 6 out of the 10, Dr. Watkins says, keep it all in the family whenever possible. A few years ago, my wife and I took an 11-day trip to China. We paid a lot of money for the trip, which consisted of tour guides and lots of fancy hotels. We traveled to a large number of cities all throughout the country. During the trip, I noticed that in every city we visited, we would make stops at places that I wouldn't normally expect to be on our tour schedule. For example, the guy seemed to strongly believe that we would be deeply interested in going to the factory that makes fake images of the famous terracotta warriors, not the real warriors, the fake ones. So before we had a chance to see the real terracotta warriors created thousands of years ago, we were forced to stop by a factory that made the fake ones. It didn't take long for me to realize that I was being put into yet another sales machine similar to the others that we've been exposed to during every single leg of our trip. Literally every city we went to, our tour guides, without asking us, would take us places where their friends and business partners were selling products. When we walked in the door, they were always waiting for us and would give us a hard sell every second we were inside the building. In fact, I got to the point where I had to sneak peeks at items I found interesting because the sales clerks were literally following my eyes the entire time I was there. If they caught me looking at something, even out of curiosity, I would immediately be met with, would you like to try this on? Or how would you like we can ship this for you? Let's be honest, this really pissed me off. Eventually, I protested, telling them that I didn't pay all this money for the tour to be taken on a gigantic shopping spree. Then they sprung me something. Then they sprung something onto me that hit me like a ton of bricks. In the contract we signed, there was a clause stating that we must join them on every stop of the tour, or we will be removed from the tour altogether. So I have to stay for this form of economic gangsterism, which was highly offensive and made me so uncomfortable. But while I was annoyed as hell, I would never sign a deal like that again. I actually admired the intentionality of the people who worked so hard to ensure that they were able to share economic value with their friends, family, and associates. Here's the deal. The Chinese businessmen who put together that tour had a powernomics plan to ensure that everyone was able to benefit from the presence of rich American tourists. They made business deals and partnerships with others in their community to ensure that there was a wealth transfer that worked in their favor. I admit that I felt pushed a little too hard to get what they wanted. In fact, I don't plan to use that tour company ever again. So I cannot say I recommend doing exactly what they did. On the other hand, I can say that they were able to get a ton of money out of my wife and me, and for that I commended their efforts. What I read that for was because I wanted you to, it was one paragraph amongst all those paragraphs, right? So I have to say this form of economic gangsterism was highly offensive and made me uncomfortable. But while I was annoyed as hell and would never sign a deal like that again, I actually listen. I actually admire the intentionality of the people who worked so hard to ensure that they were able to share economic value with their friends, family, and associates. How many of us do that? How many of us try to share economic value with our friends, families, and associates? Right? Because that's huge. Remember, I said that racism, right, is a team sport. People are running a race as a team. So you want everybody in your team, i.e., your family, friends, and associates, to be strong, to be healthy, and to be competitive. And so I wanted to read that. And one more thing, because this book is so good, so wealth of knowledge, and it's so relevant to what I'm going to be talking about here, right? Again, you guys, wherever you are, if you're under the sound of my voice and you are enjoying this, make sure that you share out the link. If you're on Facebook, share the link out. Send it to them DMs, right? If you on YouTube, copy that link and share it out. And if you on X, y'all know what to do. Like and repost, please. Like and repost so we can get some people up in here. It's 25 people. I think we can get to 100. So, under that sub point of keep it all in the family whenever possible, he says, please close the window when the air conditioner is on. Most of us grew up in a house where our mothers yelled at us for opening the window when the air conditioner was on. Close that damn door. I would hear my mother yell. We would also be told to roll up the window if the AC was on in the car. Why did our parents tell us to do that? Because they understood that running the air conditioner with the window open was a complete waste of money. All of the cool air you pay for would go out the window, and you'd have to finish more cool air to replace it. You have to find more cool air to replace it. This is how you should think about keeping your black wealth in your family and your circle. I'm going to say that again. This is how you should think about keeping your black wealth in your family and in your circle. Keep it circulating, keep it inside of the proverbial black car or family or unit or structure or community. If you keep the window closed by making sure that the money stays in your family or in your community, you're going to waste a lot less than if you spend your money irresponsibly, right? This is letting money go, being consumers and empowering other communities. Also, with the air conditioner, keeping the windows closed means that it takes less cool air to keep the room cool since the air is being circulated. So, a community or family that is efficient with its money needs less money to survive than a community that is taught to waste it. Wasting money means that once the money disappears, you are forced to return to the corporate plantation and replace the money you've already spent. This keeps black people working for white people and allows other groups to control our means of survival. A big part of having a self-sustaining community is the ability to recycle your resources. No different from the way the first astronauts on Mars had to recycle their water. If you don't learn to recycle the money in your own community, then you will always be able to turn off your economic faucet. Then others, excuse me, let me read that to y'all again properly. If you don't learn to recycle the money in your own community, then others will always be able to turn off your economic faucet. I think that's big, both of those that I just read, because, learning how to keep money circulating, right? Learning how to keep it in the family. That's what we've witnessed here with LeBron James, right? That's what we've witnessed. And he's always done that, if we're being honest. And I'm going to pull up something. I'm going to read something to you guys. We're going to do a little bit of research on LeBron James because LeBron James did something. He did a few things that no other group has done or no other basketball player has done. First and foremost, he's the first in-game real-time billionaire. What do I mean by in-game real-time? While he's in the game, while he's playing right now, he became a millionaire. Remember, it took Magic and Michael long after they retired. Jordan's been retired for what, almost 20, 30 years now. Magic has been longer than that. So here we have LeBron James, who has made great business investments, who has made great decisions financially, who has made great decisions for his life and his family. And now he is at the point where he is a billionaire. That is something to be applauded, y'all. I wish I had them soundboards where he say, like they do on X, or that I see some of the creators have. That's coming though. But so that's one. He's an in-game billionaire. He's earned it. He did it while he got it out the mud while he was actually playing. The second thing, he empowered, like Dr. Watkins was saying, he empowered his family, friends, and associates. LeBron took all of his high school classmates and buddies sent them to college, and got them working for him. How many people can we say that we know have done that, right? He sent them to school. It was so bad or so good, right? He was getting criticized so much. They even changed the bylaws and how what you can do and what the requirements are to being an agent because of Rich Paul, right? You know, nurses at one point they didn't have to have maybe a master's degree, right? Or even a bachelor's. It was some kind of requirement. I think maybe it wasn't a bachelor's, but they didn't have a requirement for this, but they changed it, right? And that's what we see. We see a lot of things happening. Sometimes in certain fields, we see the game. The industry will get saturated, so they'll amplify. They will boost the requirements. Well, it would seem that that was the case with Mr. Paul and LeBron James because they started making up rules. They started making up rules that were clearly directed at Mr. Rich Paul, so that it would disqualify him because him and his squad, him and his team, him and LeBron, they're doing so well. So yeah, this thing has taken off. He's been so effective that even that industry that with the agents they have said, listen, we got to change some of this stuff because you guys are doing too much and too well, and we have to shut it down. So yes, um, Mr. LeBron, I'm pulling up, you guys. LeBron James redefine. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna pull this up. Redefines redefining player empowerment. Yeah, you know, yes, yes, yes. LeBron is he has that school. I'm gonna pull up. I want you guys to hear. I'm gonna read a little something for you guys so that you can kind of learn about what it is that he's doing. Let me pull this up for you guys to see. And peace out there. Like I said, y'all make sure y'all share this out. Share out the live. Repost it if you're an X. Like it. My Facebook people, my YouTube people, man, send this to as many people as you can. I think that they will thoroughly enjoy it. So let's pull this up and we're gonna read it. We are going to read it just a little bit. We're gonna read about LeBron first, and then we're gonna get into his son and how that worked, how it worked out. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So exit out of there. So LeBron James is inner circle. Exit. LeBron James and his inner circle building success together. LeBron James, often hailed as one of the greatest basketball players of all time, if not the greatest, is not only renowned for his on court prowess, but also for his ability to foster success in those around him. At the core of the success is LeBron's inner circle, a group of individuals who hail from the same city and state as him. These individuals, namely Maverick Carter, Rich Paul, and Randy Mims, are more than just friends. They are a testament to LeBron's commitment to elevating those who have shared in his journey or shared his journey. Talks about Maverick, the visionary. Maverick Carter, often referred to as the brains behind LeBron's off court success, is more than just a childhood friend of the NBA superstar. Their enduring friendship, forged on the basketball courts of Akron, Ohio, has evolved into a powerful partnership that transcends the boundaries of sports and entertainment. Let's see, goes into Carter's leadership. Spring Hill Entertainment has produced a diverse range of content, including documentaries, television series, and feature films. The projects are not just about entertainment; they champion diversity and inclusion, shedding light on underrepresented voices and stories. This commitment to representation is a testament to Carter's vision for a more equitable, and inclusive media industry. Um, It says Carter's journey from Akron to Hollywood has been nothing short of remarkable. His role as co-founder of Spring Hill Entertainment, alongside LeBron James, has played an instrumental part in LeBron's transition from an iconic basketball player to a multimedia mogul. Together, they have reshaped the landscape of athlete-driven media production. Man, it says a lot. Obviously, LeBron has an IQ for success and for business in the same way that he has on the basketball court. And I love to see it. Like they say, I'm here for it, right? Because that's a team sport he's playing. And he's chosen to, he could have easily empowered someone else. He could have easily said, hey, I want this person, grab me this person, grab me that person. No, he said, I'm gonna get my people, man, that I was in the mud with, that I started out with. We started from the bottom, now we here. And that's commendable. That's respectable. How many of us do that and are successful, right? It's hard for some of us to just put a couple of quarters together, no less build a partnership and create a conglomerate out of it. So that this is super duper impressive. And this is what doesn't get talked about when they're criticizing LeBron for everything, for every small thing, right? Rich Paul, the sports agent extraordinaire. Rich Paul, a native of Cleveland, Ohio, and lifelong friend of LeBron James, is a name that resonates loudly in the world of sports agency. His journey from humble beginnings in Cleveland to becoming one of the most influential figures in professional sports is a testament to his shrewd business acumen and deep understanding of the intricate landscape of professional basketball. Growing up in the same circumstances as LeBron James, Rich Paul's trajectory in life was intertwined with that of his friend. Their shared love for basketball and a passion for the game laid the foundation for their enduring friendship. Little did they know that this bond would lead to a partnership that would redefine the sports agency landscape. Paul's ascent in the sports agency world became the founding, began with the founding of Clutch Sports Group. The letters are kind of small, y'all. I ain't my carriage today. He started the agency in 2012 and quickly gained recognition for his unique approach to to athlete representation. Clutch Sports soon became synonymous with representing some of the NBA's biggest stars, solidifying Paul's reputation as a premier sports agent. Paul's success as an agent is not solely attributed to his friendship with LeBron James. His reputation as a shrewd negotiator and a deep understanding of the intricacies of professional basketball contracts have made him a go-to agent for NBA players seeking career guidance. Randy Mims, the unseen hand. In a world of LeBron James, where famous spotlights shine intensely, there exists a figure who operates silently with unwavering dedication. This figure is Randy Mims. Childhood friend and confidant, he plays the role that is crucial but often overlooked in LeBron's inner circle. Randy Mills shares a deep and enduring bond with LeBron that traces its roots back to their childhood in Akron, Ohio. Their friendship has not only withstood the test of time, but also evolved into a partnership marked by trust, loyalty, and an unspoken understanding of one another's needs. So you see where there go there's three guys, man, that LeBron has empowered, that he's helped, uh, and it goes without saying, he's probably the main donor, right, in all these businesses. But having a team, wanting your friends, family, and associates to thrive and to come up with you, that's beautiful, man. That is a shining example, and I wish that people would magnify these in LeBron more often, because what we get is a whole lot of petty things that really have no merit in the overall scheme of things. They really don't. So yeah, I just wanted to start there. Go there with Mr. James and deal with how he's been a man who has empowered his family, friends, and associates. It hadn't just started with Bronny, his son. He seemed to understand how group economics can affect his community, and he's making great change. He's making great strides. He has that school. Some people will criticize it, but it's a step in the right direction. And he's doing what he can. He's picked up his bootstraps where he is, and he's worked right there and moved in that way. I guess you can't please all of the people all the time. And but he's doing such a great job. Now, let's talk about Bronny a little bit. Let's pull up Bronny's rap sheet. What's going on with Bronny? See what people have. Bronny James. Bronny James as a player. Bronny James, reflect on. Yes, yes, I'm gonna share this with you guys. I was happy for the young man, and when I heard how much he was getting paid, I was like, "Dang, really? 1.5 mil. That's not bad for the 55th pick in the second round. Wow." But you got to figure that's probably nothing. I was at a family gathering this weekend, and Bronny James and LeBron, they came up, and brother made a beautiful point. He was like, 1.5 million is nothing for a kid who's the son of a billionaire. That's nothing. He probably got more than that in his piggy bank. But it's still wonderful, though. It's still great that he's making his own money. He's making his own moves, and he is starting and constructing and building his own legacy. That's awesome, y'all. That's what any father wants for his son or daughter. That's exactly what I want. So let's see what the NBA had to say about it. Let's go right to the let's go right to the source, y'all. I'm gonna give you guys what the NBA said about Bronny. We're gonna pull it right on up. Add this to the stage. Sometimes my service gets nervous. There we go. There we go. All right, all right. Let's see. All right, here we are. Bronny James selected by the Lakers with number 50 pick in 2024 NBA draft. It was the dream that LeBron James first floated a few years ago, the notion of playing in the NBA alongside one of his sons. That's a dream come true. And it's a step closer to reality now. Bronny James, the oldest son of the NBA's all-time leading scorer and four-time champion, was drafted Thursday by the Los Angeles Lakers, the team that his father has played for since 2018. Bronny James was taken with the number 55 overall pick in the 2024 NBA draft presented by State Farm deep in the second round and with only 3 picks remaining in this year's draft. Beyond blessed, Bronny James wrote in an Instagram post. Adding further intrigue to the mood, LeBron James can become a free agent next week, which means he could choose to leave the Lakers and sign elsewhere. Shrewd business move. Shrewd business move. He could max out, right? LeBron James could max out at 181, 180, something like that. But this is leverage now, right? This is leverage. This is leverage and incentive for the team. And this is also uh it was leverage to get his son or to help facilitate getting his son there because, regardless of there's a saying, I'm gonna say this to you guys. Who you know might get you in the door. What you know is what keeps you in the door. Who you know will get you there. What you know will keep you there. What am I saying? Regardless of who Bronny's dad is, he's still going to have to go out there and lace them shoes up, take them shots, play defense. He's going to have to play for himself. His dad can't play. And we all know, we all understand that LeBron is on the decline. The son is set on his career, really. They got put out. The Lakers got put out, man, I think early. So they're not really he's not that 2010 LeBron who went down to Miami and tore stuff up. He's not that guy by any means. So uh while he still may be a huge draw, that's why he can get that money, right? People again, people forget that the NBA is a business, and it's just as much about, you know, brands, because these players are brands, right? It's just as much about brands integrating into the NBA, having optimum revenue and earning power as it is skills, right? And typically, the high earners and the high revenue uh, getters are guys with brands that are more well known for being dominant and successful, or just being well known, right? Everybody knows LeBron. That's how a lot of these guys be past their prime in sports and they still pull a draw. This is the reason why Mike Tyson can fight a Logan Paul. This is the reason why Floyd Mayweather can fight a Asian fighter over in Asia, and he's way past his prime, right? This is the reason why you would have rest his soul went and seen Kobe Bryant play his last game, right, and hit 60 because of his brand. His brand was still very popular, and it still held weight in the mind of the consumer, in the mind of the basketball fan. So that's huge because it equates to butts and seats. And LeBron understands that. He's still a huge draw. People still love to see him play, whether you love, hate him, or you neutral about him. And so, yeah, he used that as leverage to get his son in. Now, before I move forward, I want to say this. Let's not forget, like I said earlier, the NBA is no different from any other industry. Those people who are leading the charge, those people who are the rock stars, so to speak, those people who are doing their thing, they're always going to have way and have pull. Always, always, always. Let me put it to you this way. I'm going to give y'all a couple of different instances of players who have made moves or have influenced or impacted their team. Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson, I forget the name of the coach that he had. It was on the series Showtime, but Winning Time, excuse me. He got I think it was Paul Westfield. He got Paul Westfield fired. And that's when Pat Riley stepped in. But that was Magic's doing, right? That was Magic. Magic was a franchise player. You think they were really going to not keep him happy? That's one instance. Isaiah Thomas on the Pistons. Adrian Dantley got traded. When you watched 30 for 30 on the Pistons, he talked about how Isaiah did this. He got me traded. He went to the owner of the Pistons and said, we need to get rid of this guy and get Mark Aguirre. Again, another superstar flexing their weight to get what they need to be comfortable. Because see, an owner looks at it like this. That's the cash cow. Whatever he says, whatever he needs to be happy, we gonna do it for him. Because that means butts and seats. That means I can go on vacation a couple more times next month because it's that much revenue, that much income, right? Shaquille O'Neal. Everybody's heard the story of how Shaquille O'Neal threatened the Orlando Magic in the 93-94 draft. It was two kids on the board. One was Chris Webber from the Fab Five, who ended up getting drafted to Orlando and traded to Golden State. And it was a kid out of Memphis State named Anthony Penny Hardaway. And Shaq had seen him before, but the public story that they tell is, he saw him on the set of Blue Chips, which is a great basketball movie. Y'all go check it out. And he told Orlando front office, look, if y'all don't get Penny Hardaway, I'm going when it's time for me to be a free agent, I'm going elsewhere. I'm going elsewhere. So those are three examples. This is common play. I say that to say, listen, y'all, this is common play in the league. And it's about business. That's all. It's just about business. They understand when the huge draw, when the donor or the huge cash cow wants something, they get it. They do, they get it. And so LeBron James is no different. And I don't know why people would think that it would be any different for him, right? So yeah, he has that type of supernova. He's not even a star, he's a supernova. He has that kind of supernova status where he can alter his universe. And that's just what he did. That's what he's doing. Adding further intrigue to the move, LeBron James can become a free agent next week. Okay, I read that. In the history of the NBA, there's never been a father and son that have shared an NBA basketball court, and that feels like something that could be magical. Lakers general manager Rob Pelinka said, "We know and have to respect, of course, that LeBron has a decision on his opt out. But if it worked out that he was on our team next season, NBA history could be made, and NBA history should be made in a Lakers uniform." I like how politically savvy a lot of these executives are. They know damn well that they told that LeBron said, "Look, y'all get my son and I'll stay." Right? I'll stay. They already know LeBron's coming. Why would he's been making history in the NBA? Why wouldn't he do it with his son? Who wouldn't do that? Look at that! Look at that! Look at that! LeBron James and Bronny become the first father and son to be in the NBA at the same time. Now they are teammates on the Lakers. The draft The draft move doesn't guarantee that the father and son will actually play in a game together. Huh. Nor does it even guarantee that Bronny James will be on the Lakers roster next season. Huh. But it certainly raises the possibilities that it could happen in what would be an NBA first. A father and son on court duo in the league simultaneously as players. There have been about 100 instances in NBA history of players joining the league after their fathers played. I can name two that you guys should be able to name, right? Kobe Bean after Jelly Bean, and Steph Curry after Wardell or Dell Curry, right? But those always come at least 5 years after the father's careers ended. So this isn't a new phenomenon, right? A lot of guys who even damn, I didn't even think about Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway's son playing in the NBA. What's his name? Kenya Martin's son plays in the NBA. Gary Payton's son. A lot of NBA players, children have gone into the league, so that's not different. What makes this special is these two have the potential and have the possibility to play on the same squad. Hey, I'm all for it. I hope Bronny can do it because I would love to see it. This would be uh something huge, you guys. Something we might not see in a long time. Maybe never. Maybe I'll never see it again, or as long as I my days left. Right? Depending on how I eat and how I live my life. But yeah, but LeBron James' incredible longevity, he'll match Vince Carter for the longest career as an NBA player ever this coming season, which will be his 22nd in the league, makes the father-son duo possible. With the 55th pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the Los Angeles Lakers select Bronny James from the University of Southern California. NBA Deputy Commissioner Mark Tatum said in announcing the pick, making the moment official for the 19-year-old who was born just before the start of his father's second NBA season. Wow. It's possible that Bronny James' debut in the Lakers uniform could be July 12th in Las Vegas in the franchise's Summer League opener against the Houston Rockets. And we know he's a guard, one who's listed at 6'4" on SoCal's roster, but measured at 6'1.5" at the draft combine. Yeah, they do that all the time. They boost up the height. That'll make him one of the shortest players in NBA history, but his athleticism and defensive ability helped give him this opportunity. Bronny is first and foremost a person of high character. That's a testament to his dad and mom, excuse me, and mom. That's a testament to his mom and dad. uh, Palinka said. And second, he is a young man that works incredibly hard. Those are the qualities we look for in drafting players and adding to our developmental core at the Lakers. Yeah, man. That's wonderful. That is wonderful. So we see, I'm finding out just like you guys that uh you know that Bronny, while he has a chance, it's not guaranteed, right? It's not guaranteed at all. He still has to get out there and play his game, right? That's what I was saying. Uh, his dad can't go out there and play for him. He gonna have to get out there and do that himself. Regardless of how you cut it, he gonna have to work hard. And you heard what Rob Pelinka said. He's a hardworking kid, so that shouldn't be a problem. Now, some more people have been making comments, right? People been saying all kind of crazy stuff about Bronny, and this is funny. It's funny. You know, I'm at the point, y'all, where when I hear like different people, a lot of us get upset and angered, right? We get triggered. We get triggered by different things that we hear people say. I don't really get triggered because I understand I don't control people's minds or their mouths. I understand it and where it comes from. And and I go from there. But people people have really been saying a lot of things about this young man, and they forget that you know he's worked hard. And so when I hear these personalities, man, when I hear these sportscasters, when I hear these media personalities, I always say, well, if they work for somebody, they're probably perpetuating whoever they work for, their agenda. They don't. I don't take it personal. It's just like when you got. Hey, a lot of us had to get the vaccine. It ain't nothing personal. It's just that if we wanted to keep a gig, we had to do what we had to do. And so it's no different when you hear people spewing this madness. Don't get mad at them. Look at who they work for. Look at the agenda of who they work for, and understand they're an employee. They're not a boss. If they were a boss, they'd have their own network. So, yeah, it's just funny to see these things play out in real time. But I'm gonna pull up something I thought was interesting. This was on Twitter, so my Twitter space. Shout out to Twitter again, or X, and all my X family out there, my people. Hopefully, y'all watching and enjoying. I see it's 34, y'all. That means I'm indebted to 34 people, and I appreciate you guys again. Man, share this space out, right? Like it and repost it on X. Share it on Facebook and YouTube. Grab a friend and tune in. So I'm pulling up my Twitter space right now. I'm pulling up X because I want y'all to hear what one of the personalities said. I actually agree with him, right? And at any given moment, whoever they are, if they get to talking crazy, I just be like, yeah, this is crazy. I'm not with that. So I'm going to play this for you guys so y'all could kind of get an idea of what's been said, right? If it'll pull up. If it's gonna pull up. But yeah, my man was going into some stuff and some different examples of how people have benefited from nepotism. And you know what? I'm going to define nepotism for you guys too. I'm gonna pull up that definition of nepotism so we can see exactly. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see. Let me share this out, y'all. Share this out. Let me see. No comments. Okay. Make sure. Hey, listen. I'm here. I'm reading the comments. If you guys have any, if you guys care to share any, I'm up here, man. Y'all can certainly, please, please, please. You can hit them comments. All right. Hold on. You might have heard that. All right. Let's go here. Let's go here. I forget this cat's name. And sometimes they make sense, sometimes they don't. I give them, whenever they making sense, I can go with them. But if not, I don't really rock out with him. But I want you guys to listen to what he's saying because he is making a whole lot of sense and telling the truth. So here we go.
And the only reason he would get drafted is because his dad is LeBron. Sort of the same reason you got into law school because your dad went there. You know how many people have asked me that I know through the years, can you get my kid an internship at Fox? Connections matter. They always have. LeBron can get $180 million max contract. If Bronny got drafted, he'd make $1 million in the second round. So essentially, you'd be paying LeBron $181 million, not $180 million. Dan Hurley's son, he's on the bench for UConn. Who cares? It's cool. Dad and son. Giannis's brother never had a start for the Milwaukee Bucks. He's on their bench. If it gave LeBron energy and the Lakers sign him, Lakers have plenty of length. They could use athletic young shooters. Every time you drive down the freeway and you see a plumber's truck, you ever notice it's like Johnson
Look at me messing
and
something up.
Sons.
Okay.
Oh, dad's handing off the business. How are the Lakers owned? The dad passed away and gave it to his kids. Like, I'm sorry, but the same people outraged by connections are the ones that constantly seek getting their kids ahead through connections. An internship here, getting into a college they don't quite qualify for here. Yes, it's the way the world works.
He eloquently, I thought he put that very, very, very eloquent. It's the way the world works. Dame Dash says it like this: you hustle for your last name, not your first. Right? In other words, you keep your family's well-being on your back while you're moving forward. And that should push you. Right. And so why would we then criticize Mr. James, knowing that this is just the way of the world? This is not something he created. I always say, don't hate the player, hate the mayor, because he created the game. I'm just going by the rules, none the same, all the same. Yeah, so you really can't be upset with Mr. James. But real quick, and the Nasa's Antetokounmpo, I think Charles Barkley mentioned again. He mentioned nepotism when it came to Giannis Antetokounmpo's oldest brother being on the bench. Charles Barkley mentioned, "Hey, that's not right." Well, Charles, hey, what can you say? It's not right, but it's all real. It's very real, and it's the way the world works, man. People help out. They help their families out all the time, and you can't be mad at that. You cannot be mad at that at all. I'm not. I'm not at all. But let's look at nepotism, though. Let's look at it. Let's look and see what it is. Let's look and see what it is before we get out of here, because it don't seem like there's nobody on here. I appreciate all 39 of y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So nepotism is defined as the practice among those with power or influence of favoring relatives, friends, or associates, especially by giving them jobs. Man, I'm so accustomed to that being the reality of the world we live in. Like, is there any other way? But I would say this though. It's preferable. Yeah, it's it's absolutely what I would prefer. Because here's the thing. You think I'm not gonna look after my people in a world where people who are underqualified get in over overqualified people merely because it's some executive at the top, it's their child, it's their sister, it's their brother, it's their elementary school pal, and they can't even do the job? How many times have you guys worked at a place where you train your replacement who wasn't as apt as you, who didn't have the mental fortitude, who didn't have the technical expertise that you had, but what they did have was a connection to management or the hiring team? That's nepotism. Now, somebody's out there thinking, like, how could he say he prefers that? Well, when you begin to be yourself and accept your own, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us, and we get with like minded individuals, and we begin to then, like Boyce Watkins say, keep it in the family, right? Then you begin to see those opportunities to empower and employ and enhance the life of your family, friends, and associates. If you are now entering into a game where, or a structure, whether corporate or private, where you don't manipulate the game, then you're always going to be susceptible and liable and prone to these type of throngs, to these type of mechanisms, right? It's only considered negative when someone says, "Hey, I'm being discriminated against," or someone makes a huge fuss out of it. But it's so common, it's so customary, and it's so ingrained in the American culture that we most times we really just say, "Hey," like Colin. I think his name's Colin Cowherd. Like he said, Dan Hurley's son is on the bench, father and son. It's all good. Hey, look, John Thompson's son took the head coaching job at Georgetown. You don't think that his father got him that position, or at least open up that door, right? All of these NBA fathers, these dads who play basketball and their sons play, they couldn't play for him, true, but you don't think that they pull the scouts and say, "Hey, come look at my son. Come look at him. What do you think? Do you think you can get him a contract? Do you think you could get him in? You could get him a tryout on a squad?" Yeah, for sure. I can do that for you. Yeah, because of the connection. Absolutely. So, you know, nepotism is a normal thing in American culture. It's just, are you banning the question is, are you the one empowering your people, or are you the one getting uh shown or shoved to the side, right? Are you getting shoved to the side? So yeah, man, but Mr. Bronny James, Mr. LeBron James, they go pretty hard on LeBron. We've never heard any scandal. He's been married to the same woman for all those years. We haven't heard about anything crazy with LeBron. He's been an excellent businessman, y'all. Even that move to Miami, even that him leaving Cleveland. I wonder, did people realize, right, when he left Cleveland, that owner made some pretty racist remarks. He made some real. Y'all go back and watch the tapes. He made some crazy remarks about LeBron, and LeBron had brought him much money because he took a team with a whole bunch of YMCA players. And he took them to the finals, man, quite a bit. I think he went so many, maybe like 8, 9 times, something like that. LeBron was killing though. But look, I mean, they treated him bad, and then of course, they welcomed him when he went back. But it was a business move. It was about business and autonomy, right? What I find is more so than social, when you begin to now make a dent economically and fiscally, there's a huge backlash, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. There's a huge backlash. See, I look at this move as not only a father and son magical move, I look at it as a business move by LeBron. He understands he still has market value in the NBA. So why not at least leverage and get his son at least a chance? What we just read by the NBA is that there's no guarantee that he's going to even be on the same court with his father. This just secures him an opportunity. But how many people have not only been given an opportunity due to nepotism, they've been given the whole kit and caboodle. And they didn't even, in our eyes, they didn't even deserve it. I was more deserving than he or she was. I could do the job better than he or she could because I got a degree from this college, this university, this school. Well, if it comes down to my son and the more qualified person, you be a damn fool if you didn't think that I wasn't gonna put my son in the position. You can expect it. So yeah, man. I wanted to come through here and share that with you guys. Uh, we right at an hour. I don't see any comments. Nobody commented. It's 43 of y'all in here, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate it so much. I'm gonna stick. I might stay here. If y'all got a comment out, please write a comment. Please write something in the comments. Let me know Let me know that you understand, like the 5 heartbeats. Let me know you understand. Or you want to say what's up or whatever. You want to ask a question, or you want me to go back over something that you heard. Let me know. Otherwise, like I said, I'm gonna get up out of here. It's Monday. It's 8 o'clock. What can I say, man? Hopefully, you guys had a most productive, progressive, and peaceful Monday, and hopefully you'll have that same week, and you'll get off to this great month of July. You'll get off to a great start, right? Yeah, and I don't, I don't see any, I don't see any comments, so I would have to just assume that you guys are just watching. Hey, listen, peace and love, y'all. Peace and love. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys coming through. Um, like I always say, man, you know, may we all meet in the light of understanding. So, peace, y'all. Peace, 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 peace.